If Warhammer 40k feels huge and hard to break into, Space Marines are usually the first army people see, the first army people recognize, and the first army a lot of players start playing with. But why them? Why not the giant bugs, the space elves, the robot skeletons, or the very angry red people with chain swords and unresolved issues? Why do Space Marines keep ending up at the center of every conversation? By the end of this video, we're going to know what Space Marines actually are, why they become the face of 40k, and how to play them on the tabletop, and why Ultramarines show up so often when people first step into the hobby. And once you see how all that fits together, their popularity starts making a whole lot more sense. If you're brand new, your first contact with 40k is usually not a deep lore article or a tournament stream. It's a box on a shelf, art on a website, a thumbnail on a YouTube video, or a giant armored warrior staring like you already judged your paint scheme. The first impression matters, and Space Marines own the first impression better than anybody else. They are the visual shorthand for Warhammer 40k. Big armor, oversized shoulder pads, brutal weapons, skulls where normal people probably just stop at one skull, and a look that says this galaxy has been at war for 10,000 years and nobody is relaxing. And even if you know almost nothing about the setting, you can look at a Space Marine and instantly understand that this is not friendly science fiction. And that matters because beginners need an anchor. When a universe feels massive, the first faction that gives you a clear read usually becomes the one you trust first. Space Marines do that extremely well. And that is a huge reason so many people start their hobby journey with them. But visibility alone is not enough to explain why they last. People do not stay interested in Space Marines just because they saw them first. They stay interested because once you understand what they are, the appeal gets even stronger for you. So what are Space Marines? Space Marines, or Adeptus Astartes, are not regular soldiers with better gear. They are generically enhanced super soldiers created to be stronger, tougher, faster, more disciplined, and more lethal than baseline humans. In the world of 40k, they are elite shock troopers for the worst battlefields in the galaxy. That distinction matters a lot. When you first look at them, it is easy to think, alright, futuristic army guys in blue armor. But that really undersells them. They are warriors shaped from child into a living weapon wrapped in power armor, carrying equipment that would make a normal infantry look hilariously underdressed. And that is the part of the fantasy people latch onto right away. Space Marines are not trying to solve war in the same way normal humans do. They are dropped into the nightmare on purpose. They are expected to punch through the impossible odds, kill the nastiest things in the room, and keep moving forward. That elite identity shows up in current rules to support them too. The Space Marine Faction Pact is packed full of chapter-specific detachment and hero datasheets, which tells you this faction is not being treated like a background wallpaper. It is being treated like one of the center engines of this game. This is where the bigger picture comes in. Space Marines fit Warhammer 40k almost perfectly. The setting is brutal, ancient, religious, decaying, and constantly at war. Space Marines carry all that in one model. They look heroic at a glance, but not clean. They look noble, but also severe. They look like defenders, but they also look like they could kick a tank door off its hinges just to save time. That combination is gold for a setting like this. If you make a faction too polished, it stops feeling like 40k. If you make it too weird right away, new people can bounce off before they understand what they are looking at. Space Marines hit that balance perfectly. They are dramatic enough to pull you into the grimdark of this universe. They also sell the scale of the world. Everything about them feels exaggerated on purpose. The armor is bigger, the guns are bigger, the names are bigger. The stakes are always galaxy-sized in a universe built on excess. Space Marines feel right at home. And once a faction becomes the clearest expression of a setting, it turns into a faction people use to explain the whole setting to others. This is exactly what happened here. Now let's move from the setting to the hobby, because this is another massive reason Space Marines stay so popular. They are easy to read visually. That sounds small, but it is not. When you put Space Marines on the table, you can usually tell what you are looking at. Infantry looks like infantry, veterans look more elite, characters look important, tanks look like they mean business. For a new player, that clarity is incredibly helpful. They are also one of the easiest armies to build confidently and paint pretty clean. I'm not saying they paint themselves by any means, because that would save all of us a lot of time. But broad armor panels, strong silhouettes, and a clear chapter color make them much friendlier than an army full of tiny stripes, weird skin textures, or 50 little tentacles judging your brush every time you lay it on. Then there is the model range. Space Marines have depth. You can start small and still feel like you got somewhere to grow. You can lean into infantry, armor, jump pack troops, stealth units, veterans, fire support, named heroes. That means a beginner is not buying into a dead end. They are buying into a faction with room to grow. That matters because a first army is rarely just one purchase. A good first army needs staying power, and Space Marines absolutely have that. This is where a lot of players get confused though. People hear Space Marines and assume that it's one single army with one single identity. Not really. Space Marines are a huge faction of family, and chapters where that family starts to split into different cultures, combat styles, and personalities. Think of chapters as distinct warrior brotherhoods inside a larger Space Marine world. They all share the same broad Space Marine identity, but they do not feel the same. Some lean harder into speed, some are more stealth, and some are more methodical. Some are more savage. Some feel like disciplined battlefield scholars, while some feel like they were forged in a thunderstorm and never fully calmed down. This is the big part of the Space Marines stay so popular for so long. You can look like core fantasy of Space Marines without being locked into one exact flavor. The faction has range. You can find a chapter that fits you, and the current faction support backs that up. Space Marine faction pack include detachments like Blade of Ultramar, Spear Point Task Force, Liberius Conclave, Shadow Mark Talon, Orbital Assault Force, Reclamation Force, and more, which enforces the identity that Space Marines are not one note. They cover a wide battlefield spectrum. Now, once you understand chapters, one thing becomes very obvious. There is one chapter almost every beginner meets first. Yep, the Blue Golden Boys, the Ultramarines. If Space Marines are the face of 40k, Ultramarines are often the face of the Space Marines. They are the chapter you see again and again in artwork, starter material, product images, and beginner content. This is not on accident. Ultramarines work as a first impression because they embody the classic Space Marine image so well. They are disciplined, organized, tactical, flexible, and strongly tied to the Codex Astartes side of the faction identity. They feel like the standard against which a lot of other chapters are measured for. And current rule support makes them even clearer. The Space Marine faction pack gives Ultramarines the Blade of Ultramar detachment, plus named data sheets for Caligar and armor, Captain Titus, the Wardens of Ultramar, and the Victus Honor Guard. That is a lot of spotlight for one chapter, and it tells you very clearly how important Ultramarines are in the current presentation of the Space Marine faction. The really important thing for beginners, though, is this. Seeing Ultramarines everywhere does not mean you're forced playing Ultramarines. You can absolutely start with Space Marines and choose a different chapter later. Ultramarines are the most visible starting point, not the only door into the faction, though. But that said, there is a reason a lot of beginners still choose them. They are easy to understand, easy to collect, and they represent the classic balanced Space Marine fantasy very well. And if you're getting into 40k and want beginner guides that actually help you sort out armies, play styles, and where to start without making the hobby feel even more confusing, subscribe to Tabletop Nexus. That is what this channel is built for. Now let's hit the question that really matters. Once you start thinking about your first army, how do Space Marines actually play? In most cases, Space Marines are an elite army. That means you're usually not flooding the table with bodies the way you do a horde. You tend to have fewer models, but each unit is expected to do very well. A Space Marine unit is not just something that exists. It is there to trade, pressure, hold ground, threaten, or remove something very important for your enemy. Their biggest strength is flexibility. Space Marines can shoot, fight, stage behind cover, push into midfield, and contest objectives without feeling boxed into one narrow battle plan. That usually lets a beginner experience more of what 40k has to offer instead of forcing a super specialized style for game one. Right now, the faction pack includes styles that lean into adaptable doctrine, play with the Ultramarines, high-speed pressure with White Scars, psychic support with Librarius Conclave, stealth pressure with Raven Guard, orbital drop assaults, and an objective-forced Ultramarine chapter that range is one of the best examples of why Space Marines are so broadly appealing. If you are the kind of player who wants tools for a lot of situations, Space Marines make sense for you. They reward positioning, target priority, timing your push, and understanding when to commit. They are not brainless. They are much more easier to learn with than some armies that punish one mistake by turning half your force into a memory. And this is why beginners gravitate towards them so often, as they teach you real game fundamentals, movement, staging, objective plays, picking the right fight at the right time in the mission. Space Marines give you a faction that can actually use those lessons instead of folding the first time you get one wrong step. That does not mean they're always easy. Balance does not mean automatically win. It means your army usually has answers, but you still have to make good decisions. And honestly, that is a great place for beginners to start. First, Space Marines are durable enough that early mistakes do not always end the game on the spot. That is huge. When you are learning 40k, you are going to misjudge distance, expose units you should not have exposed, and forget about rules at the worst possible moment. That is not a disaster. That is called being new. Space Marines usually forgive that better than any glass cannon faction. Second, they have a stronger roster depth. If you try a few games and realize you like fire support more than melee, there is room to pivot. If you discover you love Terminators, jump units, tanks, or characters, there is room to pivot there too. You're not trapped into your decisions with Space Marines. Third, there is just an enormous amount of support around them. More guides, more battle reports, more painting tutorials, more starter advice. That ecosystem matters a lot when you're learning because it means help is never far away. And fourth, they feel like Space Marines should feel. That sounds pretty obvious, but it matters. When new players picture a legendary sci-fi war, they usually imagine durable elite troops with strong weapons and a lot of presence on the table. Space Marines deliver that very well. Now for the other side of Space Marines, the not so good sides, because this matters too. The first weakness is actually their biggest strength in disguise. The range is enormous. That sounds great until you are standing there wondering which box actually helps you with your army and which box just looks cool at 2 in the morning. Space Marines can overwhelm beginner with the choices very quickly. The second issue is that good at a lot of things can sometimes feel less dramatic than armies built around one extreme identity. If you want the fastest force, the stealthiest force, the most brutal melee blenders, or the most absurd monster swarm, there is a faction that linked pretty hard into that fantasy. Space Marines are often more balanced than dove just into a specific task. The third trap is hobby drift, because there are so many great models. It is very easy to buy a little of everything and end up with a collection that looks awesome on the shelf, but plays like 3 different ideas arguing in a parking lot. A plan helps. Even a loose one helps. So no, Space Marines are not perfect, but their weak points are far easier to manage than the weak points of other armies. That is why they remain such a strong entry point. For most beginners, yes, Space Marines are one of the best first armies in Warhammer 40k. They teach the core game very well. They have durable units, recognizable roles, flexible game plan, and a huge support network around them. They let you learn movement, objective pressure, trading, shooting, melee, and army construction without forcing such a steep learning curve when you are starting the game. They are especially good if you want that army that feels iconic. What you bought, if part of what got you into 40k is the image of massive armored warriors holding a line in a nightmare of a galaxy, Space Marines pay that off. They look the part, they play the part, and they give you plenty of room to grow deeper into this hobby. Now, are they the best first army for every single person? Of course not. If you look at them and feel nothing, do not force it. The best first army is still the one that makes you want to build it, paint it, and put it on the table. But if you like the look, the fantasy, and the all-around playstyle, Space Marines are a very smart place to begin. And if you are learning Ultramarines, that makes sense too. They are one of the clearest examples of Space Marines, both in lore and rule support. The current Bleda Ultramar detachment even leans into adaptable doctrine play, which fits that image of tactical flexibility extremely well. So why are Space Marines so popular? Because they hit 3 things at once. They're iconic in the setting, approachable in the hobby, and flexible on the tabletop. That is a powerful mix, especially for people just stepping into the massive game of Warhammer 40k. They are the faction most beginners recognize first. But they are not just popular because they are visible. They stay popular because the fantasy is strong, the model range is deep, and the gameplay gives new players a solid footing without feeling flat. And once you add chapters into the mix, especially something like Ultramarines, or Salamanders, Black Templars, Space Wolf, there is even more room to find a version of Space Marines that feels like yours. So if you've been staring at the wall of 40k factions wondering where to begin, now you know why so many people start here. Subscribe to Tabletop Nexus for more beginner-friendly Warhammer 40k guides. And check out the next video, because the next step is figuring out which kind of Space Marine force actually fits you best. Because knowing Space Marines is one thing. Knowing which Space Marine you should start with, that's where things start getting interesting.